Hi everybody, this is Rob from SomaSim. Welcome to the next devlog for City of Gangsters, which is the mafia management game that we've been working on. So today I have an update about some of the visual and UI stuff that we've been working on. So here I've loaded up a city that has already a lot of buildings revealed, just to show you some of the asset work and some of the city graphics that we have in progress right now. It's a large city with a lot of different businesses and houses and different opportunities for the player. But what we've been doing is adding more of the sort of not house, not industrial, not commercial, but sort of civic and religious buildings that you would expect from any kind of a city. We can zoom in a little bit over here. We can see, for example, there's a fire station right here, a bunch of different houses of worship, some of them smaller, some of them larger, across different faiths and denominations. It's going to make the city more interesting, and we are, some of them are getting their mechanics hooked up. Some of them are sort of more decorative, and it's going to be sort of like adding a lot of visual depth and sort of interesting to the city. Speaking of things that have mechanics that are getting hooked up, train stations are getting more interesting. So we can see these kinds of train stations that have both a depot and a proper station attached to them. And stations will definitely have a mechanic consequence, and being able to access those stations is going to be important. But I'm not going to tell you how important just yet. We'll talk about that a little bit later. And finally, another thing that we're doing. There's some more buildings that I can show off. This really big sort of civic building. You will have hospitals, schools, and so on. Some of them, again, are going to be more important than others. The one thing that we're also working on that it's not showing here because it's still in progress is city-specific buildings. So a lot of this stuff looks like Chicago because that has been the sort of the first city that we've been modeling. But different cities have different visual styles. They have different architectural styles. So we are now working on 3D assets for our two additional cities, Pittsburgh and Detroit, to bring some of their particular architecture into the game so that those cities will look more like their real-life equivalents. And of course, Chicago will stay looking like Chicago. So let me load up a save game and show you something else that we've been working on. Alright, and this is a save file from a game I was playing earlier, which I loaded up to show you some of the UI work and work on improving the user experience around managing your crew, managing your buildings, and especially managing your delivery routes. And I moved myself to the other side of the screen for a reason which will become clear in about 30 seconds. So, we talked about this in the last devlog video, which Matt did earlier this month, about the sort of mid and sort of early mid gameplay. And this on the right hand side is the list of your crew, your buildings, your vehicles that you can that you have under your management. So this guy right here, this is me, right? He's in the muscle category, so he's driving around doing the sort of like the necessary work of maintaining the outfit, visiting all the fronts, collecting all the money, that kind of stuff. Underneath we have a list of buildings under our management. So right now I have two buildings. One of them is producing stuff. It has a backroom brick wine operation, and I don't have anybody assigned to it as a manager, which is fine. If I had more people, I would assign somebody. But this is the thing I wanted to point out, the deliveries person. So Gordon is somebody I hired to do deliveries. And deliveries are linear routes where we tell somebody, hey, do the following things for me. Do this, do that, do that, do that. And then after you're done, repeat and do it over again. And that's what he's going to do. So we can take a look at his delivery route and find out more. And this is why I moved my view to the other side, because these lists can get pretty long, basically as long as you want them to be. So each of them is a step, and each step is going to be executed in order, and then if it's failing, then we skip over to the next step. So we can take a look. What is Gordon's delivery like? And actually, his delivery is all about brick wine, so we're going to rename this as Deliver Brick Wine. This is going to make it easier for me to find it in the UI later. It's his delivery route is fairly straightforward. First, he goes and picks up stuff from storage, specifically brick wine, at the Greco's building, material building, which is one of our 2 buildings. And we're gonna pick up all of it. We don't have to. We could pick up a specific quantity, but in our case, we want to pick up all. So he's going to go there, pick up all the brick wine, and then start driving. He's gonna go try to sell some of this brick wine at the export service center, which is one of the 5 places we know about that actually buys brick wine. He's gonna sell all of it, but once again, we could tell him to sell a specific quantity just so he can save enough to sell somewhere else. And we can get a little bit more information about the expert service center. From this we can tell that this is one of our fronts. It needs attention, so I should probably have my other guy drive over there and talk to the guy. It says word on the street says they want to talk to me, so I should definitely send one of my guys over there, because this guy's a delivery guy. He's not gonna take care of any of that business. And it sounds like they know people looking for work, so I could actually go and hire somebody else and expand my empire right now. So this was the second step, and then there's whatever is not sold he can go and sell to a 3rd place, and so on. And after some point, he comes back to Greco building materials and drops off all the cash he collected, right? Because he's got all this cash on him, and if he gets caught by the police, then all of that gets lost. And then he goes and comes back, picks up, makes sure that he has exactly $200 on him, and then he's going to go over and start buying stonework rocks. So his job is to both sell the materials that we have for a profit, and then go back and start buying up supplies so that we can make more. And if we go, some of these steps we can disable. If we want to skip, for example, like don't sell brick wine this turn, for example, we can turn them off. But right now, if we were to, the other thing is we can unassign him, and then we can reassign somebody else. I could assign myself. If I hired that 3rd person, I could assign them. But the good thing about Gordon is that he's got a truck, and a truck has a large capacity, so I can move a lot of goods simultaneously. So then I assign him, and then I'm gonna say start from here, and the moment we hit next turn, he's gonna drive over, right? He went, picked stuff up, and now he's on his way selling things. So this is how these things work. We can give people different kinds of instructions of what to do. This is my deliver brick wine instruction set, but it doesn't have to be just that one. I can add a new one, and I could, for example, split it up so that the new instruction set is maybe just buy crocs, right? So I can have Gordon just sell stuff, and I could have somebody else just buy things and deliver them to me so that I can optimize my resource deliveries. Once I have multiple production places, I could have a 3rd person whose job is only to deliver stuff from point A to point B, and have other people be buying and selling. I could have somebody else going around and just collecting from fronts, right? Making sure that all the fronts are either paid sufficiently to keep running, or that whatever surplus they have they give to me, and so on and so forth. So you can see these deliveries are going to be very crucial to building up a large empire where a lot of people just do what they're told, and you have 1 or 2 or 3 people that you manage manually, and you tell them, all right, here, go over here, do this particular thing that I care about specifically. So that's the updates from us for now, and right now we are working on the first time user experience, so all the things that happen when you start up as a new player. So we teaching a little bit about how the game works, teaching the mechanics, and also we're working on an encyclopedia of all the different elements in the game, and hopefully we can talk a little bit more about that next time. So that's what I wanted to show you this time. Thank you, and see you next time.